Amy Rule, what a fantastic last 4 or so years it's been for you. Can you sort of believe, where you've come in such a short period of time?
No. No, it still boggles me today. Like, I just remember when I first started playing, I was like, yeah, this was kind of cool. Just to think, looking into the future, that now it's my career, it just blows my mind, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you were sort of dragged along to maybe your first training or something like that. What was that like?
Nope. I lost you.
I think you were sort of dragged along to a training in your last year at school. What was that sort of experience like?
Sorry, Nathan, you're just cutting out.
Oh, it's all right.
We'll try that again. Okay.
The beauties of online interviews.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think it was like your last year of school, wasn't it? And someone sort of dragged you along to a footy training and said, "Have a crack at this." What is that sort of how it all happened?
Yeah. So I did some. I was with my uncle. I was rowing at the time, and I really loved that. And I wanted to try something new to get training because I don't know, rowing's quite repetitive in its training sense. So I did some like skills and like fitness classes things with my uncle was coaching the Riverton men's side, and I got to join in a bit of skills. I was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And then like a friend of a friend's like, you should play women's rugby, and I was just like, oh okay. Like I never really heard anything about women's rugby. Actually, yeah, nothing about women's rugby or even girls rugby. And I was like, oh, a bit random. Don't know if it's for me, but yeah, got dragged along to a training, and then got headed up to Dunedin that weekend. Didn't know the rules, knew the ball went backwards and I had to go forwards. Didn't make sense to me. Ran around like an absolute nutter. I remember there was a break down the sideline, and I'm like, okay, that's the opposition. Gonna run it. Or they just said if it's the opposition, run at them. And then I remember going for a tackle and it was head high. Like I took her head out. Like it was not good. But after that, I was like, yeah, this is for me, and haven't looked back.
Awesome. So you mentioned your uncle. Who are the other people that have had a big impact, I guess, on you having such a meteoric rise?
Um, yeah, so my uncle's my number one fan. He's always on the phone at like every game giving me the down low. Like this is what I thought, this is how it went. My mum definitely, because in my last year of high school, um, it was when I got into Otago Spirit. I was obviously still in high school back in Riverton, but she like worked around me and was driving me twice a week up to Dunedin, which is 2.5 hours each way, dealing with school and like making sure I'm getting the work done and all that. So my mum was a massive supporter, and she wasn't like 100% on board because of the idea of rugby can be quite scary for a parent, I guess. So, but I was very stubborn. But then once I guess mum saw me out there and saw the enjoyment of it, all she just was 100% on board and backed me 100%, which was really cool. When I moved up to Christchurch, definitely our high performance manager, Murph, she was an incredible lady. She's a big reason, yeah. Like when I first moved up to Christchurch, I was this young kid with no responsibility. My first year of uni, I was trying to find myself. I was put into a high performance environment for the first time and really trying to juggle what rugby meant to me at that time, or like what I actually wanted in life, which was kind of cool. So it was a big year, that first year moving up, really discovering who I was and what I wanted in life. And then I was very fortunate for me, that I chose that I wanted to be a high performance. I wanted to be a professional athlete in the sense of like I fell in love with the aspects of like the training, everything you do off the field, the reviews, the analysts, the nutrition, your sleep, like all that was really interesting to me. So yeah, very fortunate, because it could have gone the other way. I could have been like, actually, stuff that. Just gonna play Saturday footy and have beers with the girls, but very fortunate that it went the other way.
I guess being a front rower as well and learning the technical aspects, the safety aspects of the game, has that been, that would have been a fairly steep learning curve?
Yeah, because yeah, chucked in the deep end the first time I ever played. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't probably fully grasp the concept of how tough it is to be a front rower, and it's like you got to be a special breed to love it. And yeah, that's actually probably another thing. I love it. I love being under the pump, and we talk about being put in dark places and stuff. And I guess I can be quite a chill person, but when it comes to scrums, it's like, don't mess with me. This is you're not beating me. I'm very competitive in that mindset thing, so that's really cool. And yeah, definitely born to be a prop, not anywhere else. We last year for a Black Ferns camp, we got DEXA scan, so that scans your whole body. And I looked at it, I literally have muscles past my ears, and no one else did. I was like, yeah, prop things.
That's awesome. I guess yeah, it's a great segue into the Black Ferns thing. I was just watching some video this morning of you. I think it was a team naming on tour. I guess what was it like initially, just being named in that squad and knowing that you were going to go on that tour?
It was like it's a weird feeling. You think you'd be really nervous and really just overwhelmed with so many emotions, and I was in senses, but it was a really nice feeling. I thought I'd be super stressed for the week, like making sure, but I don't know if it was the team or the environment, but I felt like ready. I was excited. I don't know if it, not content, but like centered. I was like, this is what I'm about to do this, Amy. How cool. Like, just go out. Like, I'm proud of myself regardless. Like, this wasn't even an option 4 years ago. So whatever, like, just be you and do what you can do, which was really cool. And I was like, I think that's why so many people like try and aspire to be it, because it's just that feeling. It's like I've never felt it with anything else, so it's pretty cool.
Tell me about the moment when you pulled that black jersey on?
Oh yeah, the nerves kicked in a wee bit then. I was like, oh, this is actually real now. But it was just, it fitted like a glove. I was just like, I could get used to this. Like, this is definitely something I want to strive through, and especially like I've got hopefully a lot more years to go. So just to keep going, yeah. And I think what was so exciting about it is it's another challenge. Like playing international footy, I think I got hit by a truck. I was like, holy moly, like, and it's just cool to know that you've got to step it up again. There's always, you can never be at your peak. You can never not get better. So I think that was a big realization that I've just got so many more pathways or options to work on, and what I can do to be the best player or best version of myself out there, which is really cool.
Yeah, obviously the results on tour weren't what the team would have hoped for, but the experience of that tour overall, you're sort of mentioning it a little bit there, but I guess the overall experience and what you took away from it would have been huge.
Yeah, 100%. It was very tough. In the sense, I'm very fortunate that I haven't, like, at the end of the day, losing sucks. It hurts, because that's what we're here to do. We want to win. Like, we don't show up and do everything we want just to not get the points on the scoreboard at the end of the day. But it is part of the game. There's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. And it just means like, if we won those games, we're still got to go back and train just as hard, do everything we possibly can, because it is a build up until the World Cup. So that's like our main goal at the moment. And might have highlighted something. We might have, like, this tour probably opened our eyes as we live in a new world, COVID. Like, we need to be playing footy, and I think that's real fortunate now that we've got a Super Rugby comp. I think we've got a couple fixtures hopefully internationally before World Cup. So it just shows that we need to be playing footy as much as we can to get the results and to perform well.
Yeah, absolutely. Keen to touch on World Cup 2 in a moment, but I guess great news sort of during the week. You and Amy Duplessis as well, a couple of Southlanders in that Black Ferns wider squad, and I guess the extended contracts and that sort of thing. It must be great to be in this space now of being a pro, semi-pro footballer.
Yeah, it's so cool. We've been in the program for about over a month. Yeah, probably nearly 2 months now. And I can just already see, we haven't even played a game yet, and I can already see the whole squad just stepping it up one more time, just another level each day. It's so nice to, we just like, I don't know, focus on our priorities, making sure we're doing everything 100% to the best of our like capabilities. And yeah, it's just great. I last couple of years I was prioritizing footy, but now I can prioritize footy, but I can also build something career-wise behind it, because like New Zealand Rugby is really good in offering us a PDM, PD opportunity once a time slots for that to grow yourself off the field, which is really cool as well.
It must be that you're going to be able to fast track as an athlete now, not having to put work trainings before work, after work, getting to the gym when you can, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, I definitely for most other players, but I worked around training. So I did coaching and I did all these random jobs, real part-time things, or like, because I wanted to as much as I could possibly for rugby, which in the hindsight, it was like, it probably affected other things that have a massive impact on my rugby, like the nutrition, my sleep, and all that. And I look at players like the Bremners, they were both working full-time jobs and like juggling it all and trying to make sure. And then they'd leave home at like 5 and get back at like 8 at night, like it's the big days. But they do it because like rugby is such a great game to be a part of, and it's such like, it's just what we want to do. And now we're just so incredibly like grateful and honored that we get it, that the play, I guess it's just that love and support from everyone from the game, to get to where we are, like past players plus just past like supporters, and there's that legacy. It's always brought up and stuff, and it's actually made such a massive impact, like the past players plus fans plus supporters, everyone behind the scenes working towards this point. So we're really grateful for that.
Nice. Tell me about Matatu and how you get a team. I know it's sort of a familiar environment, but how do you get a sort of a team up and going from scratch?
We're very fortunate. The squad that's been selected are generally just great people. We've had 2 camps so far, and we lead into another camp this weekend. But everyone just gel together like glue. Like we all have our strengths, and like we all own that, and we're all like at a point where this is semi-professional, like, and it's a short campaign, it's a sprint, so we don't have time to beat around the bush. We've got work to do, and we've got to come together as a team to perform well for those four weeks. So yeah, like I don't know if everyone just had that same mindset. We just got to get into it, but it was pretty easy. Like I'm very excited for the season ahead.
Yeah, cool. And you did touch on before, Rugby World Cup, just such a massive carrot at the in October.
Yeah. So that's basically like, yeah. I've been thinking about it. Like it's so, I'm someone that doesn't like to focus at like end goals. Like I'm definitely process driven, and I'm like, whatever happens, happens. But I'm very excited for it to go ahead and do everything I possibly can to get there. And it would just be like such a once in a lifetime opportunity, especially being in New Zealand. Like I don't think words could describe like my family coming up to see me do that if I got selected. And just so I'm just going to do everything in my power to show up, then hopefully the results come through.
No, that's brilliant. Hey, and I'm sure they will. Hey, fantastic. Thanks for your time today, Amy Rule. All the best for the rest of the season, eh?
Awesome. Thank you so much.